It's a clapperboard. Clap.
Why did you get a clapperboard? This looks good.
Surely you could buy one off Temu,
Yeah,
a fake one, yeah. Hey, I'm Matt Wilson and this is Melbourne Fashion Week 2024. Austage is pretty much built on the back of the fashion industry, really. Fashion Week itself is like an iconic event that we've done forever. I don't know if there's many companies that can say they've done the same event for 19 years running. It's probably the most iconic and just about the most important event that we do when we look back. This will be the one that everyone talks about. All the guys who have worked here have worked on it, so everyone looks back on it with a warm heart, I guess.
So, yep, Rod Marrison, I've been with Austage since 2005 and been the general manager for the last 15 years. Fashion has become a bit of a part of Austage. Every year is new or different because they all always look for different spaces and different ways of doing things and the fashion at the time. So sometimes things can be colourful and sometimes it can be 50 shades of white. My involvement's more help coordinate the crew and the equipment and trying to make things as efficient and tight-knit as possible because it can get rather hectic and we can end up with a lot of events happening over the top of each other. So there's in crews, out crews and operating crews and equipment that has to bounce from one to the other and yeah, just trying to maximise the flow and continuity of everything to try and keep the shows as seamless as possible.
So for Melbourne Fashion Week, I am the production manager, so I oversee the technical production and logistics for all the fashion events across the whole week at all the different locations and bring it all together on site with all the different suppliers. It's been pretty amazing. Like, there's not too many events that you get to work on that have happened for that amount of time that you've been involved in. To look back on the photos of the things that we've done to where we are now and how the fashion's changed and how the whole industry, really, events and fashion industries changed together. It's amazing to have that event as a backbone to Austage, really. There's a bunch of difficult shows this year and all for different reasons. Queen Vic Market we're doing a big show in. Logistically that's hard because we only have a small amount of time in the market to build it, put the show and get it out. We're doing a parade in Little Bourke Street, which is a bit of a throwback to shows that we have done previously in Little Bourke Street. Again, public space, short amount of time to load it in, load it out, do the show. Anything in public spaces is difficult because you have to deal with general public. And then we end back at Town Hall this year, which is a real throwback to what it used to be. So it's almost come full circle. I don't think we'll ever be going back to the Town Hall full time, but it's nice to come back there for 30 years to look at it again. So here we are at Queen and Collins. This is the first site survey. We are going to be doing the media preview and also conversation series. So we don't really know what's going on as yet, but once all the team get here, we'll find out.
My name's Mike Rankin. I'm a Senior Production Manager at Austage Events and I help look after Melbourne Fashion Week every year. The first steps we normally just go measure out the space, see what we can actually fit, what power's available, if there's space for generators if it's needed, if there's anything you can hang from the roof, what kind of rigging's available. And then normally I go and redraw the venues from scratch just to make sure that everything fits how we think it will. Put seating in to make sure the capacities match the council's expectations for their ticketing, and then try and plot all the tech on top of that.
So this is my office today, down in the warehouse. It's a bit easier to be down on the warehouse floor where they can ask me questions direct rather than having to run up and down the stairs to my office to ask the million little questions that they have.
What a gig. Not a gig without carpet.
So it used to happen in one space over a whole time in the town hall. These days they like to run multiple venues, so then it's probably fractionally smaller, so you probably have a core team of 4 operators, and then you still have 12 bumping crew, but then you might have 12 bump out crew at the same time, and because one's coming out as the other one's going in, or they overlap, we can end up at stages up to probably 30 people on a day. For a little company is a pretty good stretch.
Audio. And we've got 2 more coming time.
Had people doing it for the last 20 years, and we've got some nice fresh faces that this will be their first or second year.
Queen Vic Market's interesting just because it's a public space. Even though it's undercover, it's really outside, it's on a hill. Lots of challenges to get everything installed in time and working.
Every now and then you have to be like this. Yeah. So it doesn't look like you're just standing there the whole time.
The space that we're actually in, there's not a lot of weight rating. And then just the size of the runways, they're 45 to 50 metres long, but quite narrow, so you need a lot of speakers, and it's a lot of cable management with, 1,000 people walking over it, so it does take a bit of time because we obviously try and not run it on the ground. Threading everything through the air and then bringing it down to look aesthetically pleasing takes a bit of time, so, and then we don't have a lot of time to do it. So
we're doing a distributed PA in here, spread out along the floor, either side, which means that everyone gets to hear, but no one gets blasted with the big PA like at the front or the back of the audience. So behind us here, we're just building our LED screens. This is a 3.9 pixel pitch screen, 4.5 metres by 2.5 metres, and that will show all the live feeds from the catwalk, designer titles, and TVC's pre and post show.
Together with our partners ResX, we implement basically a lighting rig for every catwalk, and lucky for us, we're at the Queen Victoria Market. So we've taken what is very historic and very iconic with Melbourne already, and we add a little bit more jazz in the evening with lights. So not only is it used for the catwalk, but it's also the atmosphere of the whole event. It's not just that all lights are on and people walk down it. Now we can create dark moments and really moodiness. Basically, it's a canvas that we use. We paint and we use light to do that, and it's pretty cool. We get a lot of cool, creative, funky looks out of it. And for the audience member, they get more than just a typical runway. They get like a full show, which is great.
Part of the runway, we're integrating 30 Volvo EX30s just to try and make them feel like they're part of the show. We're live streaming content into the cars, so those guests feel like they're still as much of the experience as the ones in the real runway.
All ready?
Yeah, we just got to fix this one thing. There's always something.
do you think the first show went?
First show was great. It was in daylight, so the lighting is a bit underwhelming, but everything went well, which is really good. There's always a bit of a rush before the first show to finish off the last little things. But now, as you can see behind me, the crew's just all relaxing, and we'll be getting ready to go to show number 2 very soon, where the lights will look amazing because it's dark now.
Yeah, so one of the random little jobs we've got to do after some of the shows or after rehearsals is we've got to go and put speakers back into position because of the really loud volume that we're pushing here. The subs just vibrate a little bit, and the ground's really smooth and slightly sloped, so they just move ever so slightly, sometimes 5 centimetres just off kilter. So just go around and check that everything's where it should be sitting and pointing the right way, ready for the next show. Is this the real corner over here?
This is the real world of fashion. Corn starch, sugar, and caffeine. So changing venues every year brings in the challenge that we've never worked in a lot of these places before, so we have no prior history or knowledge of how to work in a particular space. There's always challenges with rigging, there's always challenges with power, and there's always challenges with access, particularly being public venues. It's never ideal. You never quite have enough time to set it up the way you want it to. So logistically they're difficult, but they also make us think outside the square as well. So it makes us better at what we do, because we can't just roll in, do the same thing we did the previous year. And also, like, from a positive point of view, it gives the audience a different experience. If you've come to Fashion Week in 2023 and want to come in 2024, you're going to see something completely different. So even though it makes it harder for us, from an overall production point of view, the product for the client is probably better. Traditionally, the Little Bourke Street Parade was the start of Fashion Week. Used to tie in with a big shopping event in the city. Basically, we have 4 hours to turn a street into a fashion parade. So it takes a large amount of people, a lot of pre-planning, and once you're on site, it's literally just 4 hours of hecticness and the show starts. Like, you literally could walk past at the start of it and go, what's going on here? And 6 hours later, it's all gone. You'd never know we're even there. Which I guess is kind of the goal. You come in, you do it, and you go, and that's it. No one gets hurt. Everyone just has a good time, except for the techs.
It's a one-way street. All pedestrians running at lunchtime. The council shut it down, but that doesn't happen until 2 o'clock. And like I said, the show starts at 6. So we got a 50-metre catwalk, lighting, distributed audio, back of house areas. All that has literally got to be put in about 4 hours from when we get access to the laneway, and then the actual show starting at 6 o'clock. Accomplishing that in that time frame is a pretty good achievement, because we do have to plan literally every truck that we bring through.
The tech's changed a lot since the first time we did it, so this year means lots of battery fixtures, lots of super efficient speakers and lighting, just so we're running less infrastructure to achieve the same event, and with way less cable to install and remove.
Have you ever seen such organised chaos?
AV, 1, 2, 1, 2. So for MFW's 30th year, we decided to bring back the little Burke Street runway. And this was like this big iconic runway back when it was Melbourne Spring Fashion Week. And it used to kind of basically kick off the whole festival. We obviously make it look real easy and real smooth, but there's so much involved in just kind of closing down the street, getting all the permits, doing the build, and then obviously pushing out like a whole runway from literally in a marquee on the street. But the people always love it, always pulls a really good crowd. And yeah, it's really great to throw back.
Yeah, so we're back in the town hall this year for the first time in a long time to close out Fashion Week, which is really nice because it's kind of back to the traditional home, I guess. It will be an interesting show. You know, they're bringing back designers who haven't created clothes for a long time or aren't designers anymore. So it'll be a more traditional fashion parade than perhaps what a closing parade would normally be, but it's more about a celebration of 30 years of Fashion Week than anything else. So, you know, a lot of people who have been involved in it over the last 30 years will be there. G-Flip's playing, and I'm sure there's going to be some other surprises as well.
Justin's?
Yeah, this is how we survive.
Going to black briefly.
Final night of Fashion Week, it's a relief. Feels amazing. It's been a long week, a lot of hours worked, but everything's been successful. Everyone's really happy, the parade's looked amazing. It's one of those things I'm glad it's over because it'll be nice to, you know, go to bed, but then you kind of miss it next week. The thing that makes me the proudest across the whole week is just how all the crew comes together, the different companies we all work together. It's like that one team, one dream. It doesn't matter whether you're working for the lighting company, working for the venue, working for the staging company, everyone has the same goal and works together. You know, the boys work huge hours, like a lot of them have worked over 100 hours this week, but everyone still has a smile on their face and is happy to, you know, keep going and keep helping. So that's probably the thing that makes me the proudest, I'd say. And that's a wrap. Generally, when there's higher profile artists, we'll be the ones that deal with them, and Mike puts the microphone out. So that's what 40 years experience between the two of us and AB gets you, kids.
So I'm Matthew Flynn. I'm going to start again.